Over the past couple of weeks, people here in Mountain View and over in Southcrest on Beta Street have told me that a lot of people didn't necessarily have the right type of insurance to cover this type of flood damage, making for a tough road to recover.
I was in about knee-deep water when I was actually on the phone with my insurance company when they told me that they didn't cover anything.
Stacey Crawford's home on 42nd Street flooded when the Chollas Creek stormwater channel overflowed nearby.
I asked them to check if there was any kind of coverage whatsoever, and they basically said, well, if it's a busted water pipe, you're covered. And I was like, no, a little bit more than that.
That day, she found out what a lot of people have been finding out. Insurance coverage for a flood like this was not included on a typical homeowner's policy.
I'm not quite sure why there's a separate policy and why it's not included in homeowners insurance. At least something. I mean, not maybe the entire, but just at least something.
You can get a separate flood insurance policy through a private carrier, but if you live in a floodplain like Stacey does, it can be hard to find coverage, in which case the National Flood Insurance Program through FEMA could be your best option. They administer more than 5 million policies across the country.
Insurance policies can vary substantially regarding how they do apply to water damage, so it's really important to review your policy language carefully, including any applicable endorsements that you might have related to water damage.
Karen Collins is vice president at American Property Casualty Insurance Association. She says it's important to remember that flood insurance policies take 30 days to go into effect, and to take that into account if setting one up before rainy season.
We recommend you document any damage via photos or video, and definitely save all your receipts related to making a temporary repair.
And there's the mold issue. How do we know if that's covered?
If mold does occur in the immediate area, such as on drywall that had water damage, the cost to remove mold may be considered part of the drywall repairs.
In some cases, you may need to add a specific mold remediation endorsement to your policy. Bottom line, it's helpful to get on the phone with your insurance carrier to go over all the details of your policy before you have an issue, to know what's covered and what's not. Working for you in Mountain View, Brian White, CBS 8.